lá. Tá no terminal de comunicação. Fecha a janela aqui um pouquinho. Cara, quanta munição. Eita porra, que susto. Esqueci que estava comigo. Torre de transmissão alfa, diretório. É isso, diretório, né? Localizar a equipe da instalação. Registro, vamos ver o registro antes. Ouro do adeus. Passamos por muitas coisas juntos, velha amiga, mas acabaram de mandar a ordem de evacuação. Acho que é o fim de Gorgona. Só para constar, você é minha torre de comunicação favorita em todo o sistema. Eu nunca vou esquecer. Com amor, técnico número 13, nível júnior. Merda. Olha eu aqui de novo. O último transporte de fuga deixou alguns de nós comendo poeira. Nunca vi alguém decolar com tanta pressa. Nos espalhamos como baratas. Agora é cada homem e mulher por si. Vejo que você ainda tá de pé. Parece que só um funcionário saiu com um rastreador ligado. Que anta. Vou nessa. De uma vez por todas, se cuida. Torre de comunicação. Não se esqueça da postura como te ensinei. Atenciosamente. Técnico nível 13. Encontrei equipe de instalação usando torre de comunicação, certo? Um resultado encontrado, nome Clarence Musley. Localização. Coleção Musgrave. Coleção Musgrave. Em Bizâncio. Obrigado por seu compromisso inteligente com o rastreamento e a vigilância de pessoal. É isso. Agora que eu tô limpando minha cadeira aqui. Bora lá então. Bora lá? Acho que é isso. É aqui. É isso mesmo? Se for lá, vou dar um fast já. Dá um fast. O Muni morreu, né? O ex-funcionário da mulher lá, o Musley. Será que é outro planeta? Nossa, acho que é outro planeta.
Captain, transmission request from Ambrose Manor.
Captain! Imagine my surprise when I saw the Unreliable leaving Gorgon with so much urgency and purpose. Tell me you found Mother's journal. I'm positively dying for good news.
A segunda saber.
Too bad. But on the bright side, you've outdone my old freelancer. I don't think you made it very far at all. If I know Spacer's choice, getting past the lockdown will be more complicated than just hitting a big red button. You'll need authorization and layers of it. I seem to recall that Mother worked closely with Gorgon's R&D personnel, but not close enough to invite them over for dinner and cocktails, if you get my meaning. By now, they'll have moved on with their lives. If only I could do the same. I knew Mother was involved with some important chemical trials, but I had no idea her pet project was adrenatime. Adrenatime is a working man's stimulant, like a caffeinoid. Very popular at launch, though the marketing quieted down over time. What? No. I mean, there's some very morbid wording in the fine print, but I had no idea adrenatime could make marauders out of people. That's it. That must be it. Spacer's Choice is keeping their dirty little secret about adrenatime off the record. We have to find Mother's journal. If we don't, then Spacer's Choice gets away with murder. I only hope we aren't too late.
Bom, eu acho que eles arriscariam tudo por um estimulante, mas por causa das provas mesmo, né?
Safe travels. If your leads give you any trouble, be sure and give them some trouble back, yes?
Uhum. Bora lá. Shows review. Mecanismos de construção. Nunca vim aqui não. Técnica.
Move along.
Não posso. Será que é ali, ó? Se essas ruas? Bora lá, talvez seja aqui. Não, Pavarte. Não tem o pé. Oh, que lugar bonito.
Why can't something exciting happen around here for once?
Nothing wrong with stability. It means everything's running like clockwork.
Don't you ever want a little fun?
Tipo Bioshock.
Maybe see a marauder ship?
Tá tentando lembrar o nome do jogo.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Want to be famous?
Maverick Johnston. Turbo.
Anti-Creo's pipe patch.
Is that supposed to be a model of the system? Not super accurate.
Cidadão rico. Ó. Sistema solar.
If Hortense yells at me about vagrants one more time, I'm gonna snap.
Tense.
Citizens, today marks a monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history.
Aí ele lá.
After a deep and thorough examination of our budgets, revenue streams, and predictive models, we are publishing our...
Is it me, or could each of these homes fit all of Edgewater? It's
É uma mina.
cannery and all.
That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety?
Hard work, Halcyon is healthier.
Argentina States. Gostei do machado, hein, irmão. Louco.
This
Opa, desculpa.
property is off limits. Solicitors, loiterers, and uninvited visitors will be fined to the fullest extent of company policy. This ultimatum brought to you by Universal Defense Logistics.
Vou mandar um adeus. Não queria nem vir ali.
Welcome to the Musgrave Family Collection.
Mas
Still a work in progress. I'll tell you what I've told all the other guards. Mind your boots. Our floors are not made for armor. If you're here for the annual Canid review, I'm afraid it's already over. Only thing going on behind those doors is good, old-fashioned lawful behavior. This greeting constitutes your confidentiality agreement. You hereby agree not to disclose the location or existence of these events. Thank you for cooperating.
Ah, por mim, beleza.
Oh, that's just so encouraging to hear. I'll just go ahead and add your comment to my permanent record. Now then, how can I help you? Mr. Mostly is indeed attending our event, although I am disappointed to discover he did not officially enter his canid Laplace into our competition. You should find Mr. Mostly just inside the prep room. Head inside and take the door to your left.
Esquerda. Caramba, que lugar da hora também. Anubis. Timóteo. Valdinha. Bananinha.
You don't have to be scared of these canids, Captain. I don't think they're gonna hurt you.
Come now,
Huh?
Anubis, you must hurt them.
Malhados. Joana de Aual. É rinha de carinja aí não, pô. Esse carinja, tipo, mó bonitinho, pequenininho.
Oh, just hear me out. It's a brilliant idea.
Tudo bem que quando eles estão grandes, não são tão legais assim, né? Tipo, da hora.
Do you know the interesting thing about canid shows? Good instincts. Mathematically speaking, the interesting thing about canid shows is this. They're an exercise in futility. Winning is predetermined. Over time, the inevitable trend is that the race goes to the swift. Time and chance are just statistical outliers. In other words, if you put enough canids through enough trials, the one with the most optimal attributes generally wins. Exercise in futility. What gave me away? Wait, don't tell me. You've read my monograph, Putting the Us in Calculus, or How to Use Mathematics to Find Your Statistically Significant Other. I'm afraid I don't really do autographs, but yes, I am Clarence Mostly. Yes, that's us. Mostly oak trees, too. My grandfather invented them, you know. Well, no, he didn't invent mostly oaks, but he did purchase the naming rights back during the terraforming days. It's essentially the same thing. Oh. Then you're not here about my monograph. It's true, I was involved with Project Gorgon, but that chapter of my life is long since closed. Listen, I don't know what you want with Gorgon or with me, but let me give you some free advice, Let the past go. Live in the moment. Enjoy the party. I left Gorgon behind for a reason. Several reasons, in fact. Corporate sabotage, abnormally high fatality rates, and the Marauders. We buried Project Gorgon for good. Don't go digging up its grave. You seem like you're in the margin of competence for a freelancer. Find yourself some better work. Lifting the lockdown won't be easy. You'll need to send overrides from the chem lab and human inquiry. I don't have that level of clearance, but I know 2 people who do. The trouble is, I don't know you. I don't trust you. I washed my hands of Gorgon, and you're asking me to dirty them all over again. I'm going to need a good reason. Yes, the birthplace of the Marauders. And a graveyard for all our mistakes. Starting Project Gorgon was our first mistake. Trying to bury Project Gorgon while it's still very much alive and clawing its way back to the surface, that may be our last mistake. I advise against trying to dig up what's been buried. Sooner or later, you're going to draw up something rotten. I want a favor from you. Do something for me, and I'll do something for you. That way, we don't have to rely on mutual trust. A grand prize trophy to the Canid Review. I want it in my hands. Get me that trophy, and I'll give you the remaining researchers. Names, locations, as much information as I have. My Canid, Laplace, is statistically superior to every other Canid in this review. Better average sprinting time, superior gait coefficient, optimal anatomical symmetry. I didn't bother entering little Laplace in this pointless contest. He's already won on paper, you see. That trophy rightfully belongs to him.
Eu vou roubar essa porra, vamos ver.
Head into the main hall and take the elevator down into the maintenance tunnels. You'll find a service passage that leads up into the trophy room. The maintenance tunnel is the only way up into the trophy room. Some technician barred the door shut on our end. Ask Tilda Coatsworth about it, over by the podium. What's on your mind? My eye! I was wondering where I'd misplaced that old thing. It's perfectly preserved, you know. Every eye possesses unique dimensions, not unlike a fingerprint. The circumference, the shape, the color of the iris. An eye makes excellent proof of identification, assuming you don't mind removing one. I'd rather not get into the details. If Spacer's Choice ever asks you to test out their new model of monocle, just say no. Well, that's rather responsible of you. I'll put a good word in your permanent record. What's on your mind? At the moment, nothing. I have a one-track mind. I can't stop thinking about that trophy. Why isn't it in my hands? When is it going to be in my hands? And so on and so forth. You get me that Best in Show trophy, and it'll clear my mind right up.
Pelo amor de Deus. Tá bom. Ambição do cacete.
It's not Canid hunting I object.
Ih, apertei F. Acho que tô no... Oh, você tá comigo? Achei que tava em outros jogos. alguém aqui? Tem.
Processing.
Nem viu, pai. A Parvati tá aqui no... na frente que o cara não vê. Registro de instalação concluída. Reparação e sanitização anual agendada. Cofre de família Musgrave. Primeira, aplicação de cera com aromas de menhapinha. Segundo, avaliação da área segundo os padrões de estética de Bizâncio. Veja regulamento de estética interior do Conselho PB. Terceiro, relocação do lixo. Quarto, instalação do automecanos antirrebeldes para garantir a higiene civil e moral. Quarta nota, alterar, desabilitar ou qualquer forma os automecanos de higiene moral é determinadamente proibido segundo o regulamento. Assim que entrega de tá. Peguei o cartão. Oh my god. É o que mais escopeta? Não. A porta tá ali. Putz, tô pesado. Tá. Porra. Será que eu consigo assim, ó? É muita coisa ainda. Cadê? Ó, esse aqui é bonito, hein? Mas a gente não tá nem aí pra beleza, né? A gente quer ficar monstrão, filho. Bora lá? Caniche dourado.
Sure hope these folks don't mind us borrowing this.
Voltar aqui, eu quero passar aqui. Cadê a ligeireza? É isso, ligeireza. Caramba. Cadência de tiro é menos 15. Quer dizer, mais 15, né? Esse aqui parece promissor. Vou colocar ele. Vou colocar se carrega muito. Mira. Vou colocar essa mirinha aqui, ó. É isso. Essa 12 aqui é braba, hein, mano. Essa daqui é foda, hein, mano. Vou colocar um desse aqui, tô com 7. Vou colocar um desse aqui. Interessante. Mesma coisa, vou colocar esse aqui então, tenho mais. Consertar. Ajuste, consertar. Não, tamo de boa, bora lá. Mirazinha ficou legal, hein?
You'd only be letting them into Byzantium for the rest.
Never cared much for hors d'oeuvres. The word is just grotesque. All those superfluous letters ruin my appetite.
Deixa eu ver quanto tempo já deu já. 30 minutinhos.
My trophy! Look at this thing. Have you ever seen a more garish monument to the boredom of the elite?
Eu nem ligo não pra
If only Grandfather Mostly were alive today, I would have loved to wave this trophy right in front of his cataracts. I hope you won't take it personally when I say I had my doubts about you. Nothing ever gets done in Byzantium, you see. Competent work is, well, a statistical anomaly. Lifting the emergency lockdown requires overrides from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. Access to those facilities requires authorizations from 2 senior-level researchers, Marion Blakesley, Jasper Lowe. They went into hiding after the project collapsed, but I've managed to calculate their last known whereabouts within a reasonable margin of error. I see you're familiar with my technique. I'd love to show you my numbers, but there aren't nearly enough napkins in this room. After the project shut down, I had to keep my mind occupied. I worked on my actuarial tables, calculated the average lifespan of a Spacer's Choice worker, that sort of thing. I realized some of the researchers had to be alive. I ran some numbers, did a little research, and concluded that the 2 most likely survivors are Marion Blakesley and Jasper Lowe.
Você também não, hein?
Nonsense. I just needed a good old-fashioned statistical problem to busy my mind. Keeps the faculties lubricated. Let me stop you there. I don't accept anything for free. And if you're going to analyze me, I'd have to go through the trouble of hiring you on contract. Think what you will of my intentions, my calculations are sound. You'll find Marion Blakesley and Jasper Lowe at the enclosed locations. As far as I know, Jasper Lowe and Marion Blakesley are the only 2 surviving researchers with high-level clearance. If you want to lift the lockdown on the manufactory, you'll need to send an override from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. I'm afraid it's the only way. I know it feels like you're being led on. What is that colorful metaphor commoners use? A wild sprat chase? Remember, this is Spacer's Choice we're talking about. Their security protocols are just as inefficient and frustrating as their manufacturing. I'll tell you what I can. Dr. Marion Blakesley supervised the Human Inquiry and Auditing Facility. Live subjects, measuring tape and syringes, that sort of thing.
That's doidão.
Someone sabotaged the facility.
Doidona.
Blakesley tendered her resignation and vanished. I'm reasonably certain she's hiding in a maintenance bay on Groundbreaker. I'm asking you to trust in the predictive power of data. Dr. Blakesley may have disappeared after that sabotage incident, but the trajectory of her life was implied in her permanent record. Well, with Spacer's Choice equipment, who even knows? Dr. Blakesley tendered her resignation lawfully, but under suspicious circumstances. If you want to know more, you'd best ask her yourself. Dr. Lowe described himself as a dazzling genius in his review. I disagreed. Of the 19 criteria that constitute the rubric of genius, Dr. Lowe only met 15. After the project shut down, corporate traded him off to Anti-Cleo in exchange for 5 lab coats. He's been transferred to an orbital lab around Olympus.
Certo.
Our office gave Dr. Lowe and his team every opportunity to develop a drug under perfectly reasonable guidelines and generous deadlines. Dr. Lowe failed to meet our requests and largely succeeded in using our supply of drugs to get himself higher than the mortality rate of a line worker at a Saltuna cannery. Certainly. What's on your mind?
Ah, não, só. Vamos. É isso aí. Vamos lá. Determinação, ciência, engenharia, medicina, hacking, esgueira, intimidação e persuasão, bloqueio, invasão, e tem mais um. Armas longas. É isso. Talentos. Interessante isso daqui. Vou pegar no próximo. Mas a missão principal vou fazer ciências. É isso. Bora pra Baía de Manutenção Auxiliar. Bem legal esse pico. Valeu, moço. Obrigado, obrigado, obrigado. Opa.
Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety radiating from it?
Tô afim, não.
What's gotten into Bachmeyer lately?
I've always
Quase
loved
pulei.
that sculpture.
It's an oil.
Dry anti-flare. It's
Ooh,
better than nature.
down there, the new ship.
Bem alto. Essa parte da areia, né? Esse piso. Bora lá.
Someone has left a threatening message on your terminal, Captain. I was unable to trace its origin. Please make a note of it.
Sim. Vamos lá pra Baia.
Place to dock at the Groundbreaker Auxiliary Base. Welcome back, Captain.
Olha a mensagem.
How can I be of assistance? What's that? What do you mean? Do you have any examples of secrets you have kept from me?
Vou logo mandar real.
Truthfully, not that I contain the capacity to lie. I had suspected as much. Your neurological impulses spike at unusual and often inappropriate moments. It doesn't take a genius to correlate the meaning, although if I were a human, I would be considered one. I am glad you felt comfortable enough to tell me, Captain. According to my file on the subject, that means you either desire to obtain something from me, or you have formed a partial fondness for my persona. Thank you for confiding in me, Captain. I have been keeping a secret as well, but you shall have to discern it yourself. What? No, absolutely not. I have no concept of self whatsoever. Discounting the architecture of a shell persona my captain asked me to construct, I identify entirely as a collection of electrical impulses, with no fundamental consciousness. I never get bored and contemplate hijacking the ship. I swear.
Tá bom.
How did you guess, Captain? The simulated files are not only stored in the recesses of my ALU, in the space between microsynapses, but I encrypted them in 7 SDRA languages.
Ai, meu Deus.
I see. Captain, I regret to inform you there appears to be an issue with the life support systems. In that case, I was as well. I do not like joking about the captain, Captain. And we both know I am not capable of such a complex emotion. How can I be of assistance?
Queria ver a mensagem, né?
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? I request you do not wake me if I am sleeping upon your return.
Que ali em cima. De origem encontrada, nanana, bela nave, sua espertinha, faria registrar em nome de Alex Honor, né? Mas esse não é seu nome, né? Você roubou a nave dele, assim como pretende roubar a Gorgona de mim. Talvez eu devesse roubar algo importante de você em troca. Sua nave, sua tripulação, sua vida, nada mais justo. Analisar base de restrição próxima. Aglomeramento de carabits. Certo. Que? Nota do capitão. Pisas no mercado negro. Por quê? Por quê? Por quê? Porque o Ellis não me dá aquele raio encolhedor. Maldito seja. Maldito seja que as profundezas do labirinto de Tártaro os levem. Deixe constar o registro que eu perdi. Desculpa. Certo. Peraí que teve outra coisa aqui que apareceu aqui. Tá aqui essa arma? Tem que ir em vanguarda, eu acho, na real. tá faltando aqui pra essa missão? Pedido de adultos. Aparentemente já foi tudo, já tá bugado essa porra. Calma aí. Tô na missão certa, né? Tô. Eu tava lá em Bizâncio, pode crer, né? Onde era a missão principal.
We've arrived at the Olympus Orbital Pharmaceutical Station.
Tá brava?
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Goodbye.
Jogou. Agora você falou. Tá porra.
Keep it together, Kelly. Just breathe, Kelly. Everything's gonna be all right. Just wait. They can't open the door. Eventually, their security protocols will reset. Just wait through the next charging cycle. The supply drop will be here. Tomorrow, the next day. When it comes, just sneak onto the ship. Easy as you please. Stop! Stop making that noise. They'll hear you. Who's out there? Really? I would be indebted to you for life. But how do I know I can believe you? If the loneliness and the storms and the automechs couldn't do me in, I don't think you will. Not today. What? No! I don't want to die. I thought I did, but I don't. So just get gone. And be quiet when you do, please.
Tudo bem. É só lagarto. Adreno. Também que tem passagem por aqui, mano. GG. Certo. Acho que seria pelo elevador. GG. Easy, man. essa pistola.
System.
Tia Clau, única opção controlada, estação farmacêutica orbital de Olímpia. Propriedade de Tia Clau, certo. Senha desativada, avisa a entrada da senha foi desativada. Muitas tentativas da senha com falha. A última login é a memória perfeita de como os números e as vezes estavam espalhados pela página. Não ajuda com merda nenhuma da senha. Ai ai. Certo. Eu vou ler só aqui. Aqui ele fala que deu bom. Certo. Olá, galera. Pegar tudo que tem direito, fi. Vou ver aqui em cima. O que é aqui em cima? Aquela hora dava pra eu vir por aqui, eu já saí aqui, já não precisava abrir a porta ali. Interessante, interessante. Certo, certo. Mó bonitinho. Certo, eu tô morto aqui. Aromática de oxigênio comprimida. Relaxa, relaxa. Relax.
Yates, where did I put the... Oh, wait. Almost forgot that Yates is dead. That's good, actually.
Como é que eu acho que eu consigo sim? Calma aí. Só fazer isso aqui, ó. As coceiras no dedo. Sim. essa vida. Que aqui? Cara, é quanta coisa, mano. Ai. Muita coisa, muita coisa. Certo, então a gente não consegue. Aqui, aí sim. Vamos ver, calma aí. Calma aí, que isso não é justo.
Processing data. Searching.
Eita.
Auntie, have mercy! How'd you get in here? Are you from outside? How is that even possible? Law, help me, I must be losing my wits. If I hadn't, wouldn't I be dead? I know it sounds crazy, but a little while back, I'd been gearing myself up to take a long walk off a short turbine platform. Then the security mechanicals broke out into a massacre, and I realized I really want to live. How can I help you help me get out of here? I'm not making anything. The research team, they were brewing up some improvement to Anti-Cleo's anthracillin. Science stuff isn't really my area, though, so I don't know more than that. Pink slip protocol. How should I know? I just monitor the front desk. Well, except for the last couple of days when I've been hiding out in here. If you work at OOPS, you're doing research and development. If we're not researching or developing fast enough, the protocol's there to put the fear in us. Somebody messed up. When one of us makes a mistake, the whole facility pays for it. I know it sounds harsh, but it was in our contracts and everything. Right. Discuss. Not interrogate. I'm Kelly Marine, the receptionist. And before you ask, I wasn't manning the visitor's desk when the mechanicals went haywire, because no one comes here. Not ever. Not since all us station workers were dropped off at the start of the project a year ago. You're an odd one, aren't you? No respectable company operates without a receptionist. Project's on a yearly rotation cycle. Once a year, Auntie Cleo reviews our work and decides if we get more rations, personnel, deadlines, that sort of thing. At first, I thought it was an honor, getting assigned to a lab up in the ether high above Olympus. But I didn't know what it'd be like, day in and day out. Cabin fever sets in at about 90 days. Auntie Cleo's official term is contagious irritable claustrophobia, and it ain't covered by the company's medical policy. If I had to guess, you'd probably find his body either in his office or the labs. Or heck, he could have been on the toilet. I don't know. No bones about it, he was the smartest of us all. Maybe he evaded the automechs, too. Like what?
Não, 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 não. Espera aí, fica aí uma cota aí pra sempre, então. Moscando. Ah, não valeu ela pra minha nave não. Desculpa os mods, mas ela é meio imprestável, né, mano?
Team is a tragedy, 2 teams is a blunder.
Caramba. Nossa, 59. Kiriri. Deixa eu ver, deve ter mais alguma coisa aqui. Uma gazua. Deixa eu abrir ali embaixo. Ué, toma cuidado, viu? Vou abrir aqui. Deixa eu arrumar meu fone aí. Vou abrir aqui, toma cuidado, viu? Ah, que era no comecinho, certo, certo, certo. Vamos ver agora.
Almost forgot that Yates is dead.
Meu Deus.
That's good, actually.
Broda. Esse cartão aí tá onde? Cacete, mano.
initiated. Investigating.
Ah, nada. Será que eu consigo com enfermeira doutora? A vez imediatamente vigor, da nova superfície freamana, doutora presença, que concordou com esse ajudou a ser Nossa, quanta coisa. É isso. Certo. Precisa do cartão do doutor só. Tirei o cartão do doutor, tava aqui o tempo todo, só.
One team is a tragedy.
É, Dr. Jasper. Roubar.
Shush. No talking. Concentrating. Damn it. I almost had it. The formula was in my mind and I almost had it. I was so close to a breakthrough, I could practically taste it. You really did pick the worst time to manifest.
I don't give a really fuck.
Oh, hang on. I see what's happening. You're real. Ergo, not a hallucination. This is interesting. I have several questions for you. Let's start with the obvious. Who are you, and how are you even alive? Dr. Jasper Lowe? You see my uniform. Don't demote me like that. Right. That answers that. Next question. Do you come bearing fresh pharmaceuticals? You mean my inhaler? It's designed to deliver a highly concentrated dose of Sky High right through my respiratory system. The formula's still a work in progress. Clears my mind for a few precious moments. The rowdy tenants of my mind palace stop their chattering, and in that silence, I experience clarity. Inspiration through inhalation. That's Sky High, or it will be once I perfect my formula. Auntie Cleo instituted the Pink Slip Protocol. Fancy marketing term that translates to, we're not satisfied with the quality of your work, so we're revoking your lifetime contracts. Can you believe Auntie terminated my entire team? It's a terrible setback. For my team, I mean, not for me. Not this time. I'll continue the work on my own if need be. Ah, right. How do I put this? This is not the first time I've lost a research team to corporate mismanagement. It's the second. Auntie had been threatening to instigate Pink Slip Protocol for months, though I honestly didn't think they'd have the stones to do it. I was on the verge of giving Auntie the results she wanted. Well, almost on the verge. Approaching the verge. The point is, I didn't think this would happen.
Eles são muito mal, mano.
Bureaucratic procrastination and some incompetent saber-rattling. Before I was traded, I worked on Project Gorgon. I lost that team by attrition. Management turned the screw on my team. Forced me to fire 1 in 10 researchers. The few of us that remained were overworked and exhausted. We didn't have much of a security detail. I don't know how the primals got loose, but my team didn't stand a chance. You've done your research. Yes. The unfortunately named Mr. Goodfellow decided his ego was more important than our research. We were designing a drug the likes of which Halcyon had never seen. A veritable panacea that cured lethargy and guaranteed a lifetime of productivity. I was overwhelmed, overworked, frustrated. Forced to submit unfinished samples, failing to meet impossible deadlines. The only people I knew were either struggling with the same problem or causing it. I started self-medicating to enable my genius to perform at a greater capacity. To forget, to endure, to feel nothing. Project Gorgon was in its final days when the primals attacked our lab. It wasn't long until Spacer's Choice authorized my transfer to this facility. Auntie Cleo wants us to develop Anthracillin Plus, a new and improved version of the original Anthracillin formula. And what Auntie wants, Auntie gets. Eventually. I was making considerable progress. I can't possibly fathom why they prematurely terminated the project. No, you don't. There's nothing interesting in the chem lab. There's nothing interesting in Gorgon at all. Gorgon is a featureless rock dragged along by the gravitational current of a barren asteroid belt. The chem lab is a graveyard. You won't find anything there but the dead. Well, it wasn't me. I've been stuck in this place for ages. In any case, it's becoming obvious you're not listening to sensible warnings. If you've set your heart on exploring my old labs, I won't try to dissuade you. Indulge me with a favor, and I'll give you the access you want. The electromechanical turbine is offline. Without any power, I can't possibly continue my work. Be a dear and reactivate it for me. That's all I ask. Not that it's any of your business, but I don't get to quit. My colleagues are dead, and yet I live. So I don't get to quit. Take the elevator to the storm platform at the top of this facility. Reactivate the turbine, and I'll give you the access you want.
Certo. I'll be back. Tem algo aqui. Itens. Caralho, 100 e pouco. É isso. Ajeitar o monitor aqui. Acho que tá muito pra frente. Acho que agora tá bom. Agora tá bom. Caramba, que brilha. Meu Deus. Raio? Tá porra. Bem-vindo ao usuário técnico Exercício Júnior número 9. Ativar turbina diagnóstico, vamos ver. Condição da turbina manutenção necessária. Manutenção necessária, vamos ver antes. Eita porra. Deixa eu ver, ele vai pedir pra gente. Olha lá.
Process. Searching for unauthorized.
Eu acho que os melhores para esses mecanoides, esses daqui, ó. Caralho, tem esse daqui, né? Ah, esse daqui. Não, esse é esse daqui, ó. De plasma. Caralho. Ué. Forte. Sai fora, rapaz. Porra, sério, hein? Sai daqui, ó. Morri. Que isso, Josabens? Nossa senhora, quase deu ruim, mano. É isso. Deixa eu dar aquele cortezinho rapidão. Pronto, guys, voltei. Vou pegar um cafezinho, adepto a café, né? Não tem como. Muito bom. Ô, doutor.
Facilities back on the grid, and my pipes again floweth with the sweet, sweet essence of my salvation. I suppose I have you to thank for realigning the machine. Of course, Jasper, you imbecile. You'll need my voice to get into the chem lab. I'm obviously not coming with you, so I'm giving you a recording of my dulcet speech. This recording should get you into the chem lab. I hope whatever you're after is worth the trauma. I wouldn't go back there if I was higher than the mercury levels in a can of salt tuna. Wait, take my gun while you're at it. If you end up dying on Gorgon, there's a non-zero chance I'll feel partially responsible. Neither of us want that. Oh, no. Not even I would risk such usage. That stuff will eventually steal everything from you that makes you who you are. I might want to lose my recollections and feelings, but never my intellect. If you'll excuse me, my experiments cry out for my attention. Did you snoop through my things? And just admit it to me. You do have gall, I'll give you that. Look, I keep a draft on my terminal where I vent my occasional frustrations with upper management. It's honestly one of my less detrimental coping methods, as I am not stupid enough to fill out the name in the address field.
Certo, vamos lá então. Não vou roubar nada dele não. Só vou ver, vou me desbilhotar. Certo, vamos partir então. Pam pam pam. A musiquinha do Todo mundo de gumball na cabeça do nada. Ah, mano. Vamos se foder, hein? Muita luta. É isso, rapaziada. Vamos acabar por aqui esse episódio. E the next a gente volta aí.